Thank you for entering the throne room with me, Elle. Today, we're going to talk a little bit about what happened on the last episode of The Young Pope with the sexy Jude Law doing his thing, and you've never seen a Pope like this before. So, my name is Elle, and today we're going to talk about episode 2 of The Pope. So, without further ado, up next, let's get it, y'all. So, at this time, currently, I'm going to go ahead and talk a little bit about what happened with episode 2. Now, Lenny did shock the world with his first address in which he demanded Catholics worldwide devote themselves body and soul to God no matter what the consequences were. Sister Mary and also Cardinal Violo struggled to control Lenny, who admits that his conservative religious views result from his parents' decision to place him in a Catholic orphanage so that he could pursue a hedonistic lifestyle. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about what happened. Okay, so what goes down here is that this episode, Esther, she's already been doing her thing from the other episode previous, which was episode 1, and she's a girl that stood there after he did his speech, and she just wanted him to see her, and she wanted to know this guy. She's like, I want to know the Pope. I want to be up in that house. I want to be up in St. Peter's Basilica. So that's what she got. So she wanted, and she got that. So she stood out there for like hours on hours. I think she was out there for a couple days. I don't know. But at this point, she really did get his attention. So he meets with her, and she can't have children. That's basically what is going on with her. She's with the Swiss Guard, and she's also having an inappropriate relationship with a guy that actually stands next to the Pope 24/7. And I don't even know if the baby is his baby. It might be the other guy's baby. And she was, previously having, extramarital relationships with him, the other guy, and quit doing it after she started. Well, as far as we know, she started seeing Lenny. And Lenny is not having sex with this woman, but he has a emotional relationship with her because I think he likes how she is very devout and how she wants to do the same thing he wants to do in his speech. He wants people to be more ambitious about the belief in God, to actually want to do something about it and show that they're passionate about it. And because she stood there and did that, that's why he chose her. So I don't know if that was the reason to choose her, but the same person he let up in that house is the same person that Violo actually is trying to use against him as well. So let's just talk about that. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. After that happened, there's just been some chatter going on in the Vatican about who he is, what he represents, and it's starting to actually spread around because there's a lot of rumors getting started. Because Vatican is like a little city in itself, and there's a lot of things going on. And let's just say they're not all pretty and white. And so what happens after that is Sister Mary is actually in a flashback, and she shows Sierra, which is his best friend, and he's going to the orphanage. He has red hair. He's crying. He's upset because they're like big kids to be just dropped off at the orphanage. I don't know if this was a 70s, 80s thing or 60s thing, but it was pretty messed up. And so he's crying, and she goes, don't call me Sister Mary, call me Ma. And she tells him that versus when she was talking to Lenny, she told her never call me Ma, call me Sister Mary, because she knows that Lenny is self-confident and that he's able to handle his own, whereas Sierra, not so much. So there's just a little bit of shade, obviously. There's a little bit of shadiness with Sister Mary, with the Vatican, and everybody around him. Just a really strange event. So going back to this moment when his parents left him there, why did they leave him there? I mean, 7 years old's a bit old to just leave a child at the orphanage. They already know who you are. I think it would be much better. Excuse me, I didn't mean to blow in the microphone. I was blowing away some smoke that was in my face from some incense. But my thing is this here is that I just think that in this case, this Pope's different because he's not going to go ahead and just do whatever the status quo wants him to do. And that's what makes him even more interesting and also unpredictable. It's actually also interesting how Cardinal Viello actually says that the Holy Spirit might have breathed on the church because they really don't know how he got elected. He's an unknown guy, and all of a sudden he was just the one that's going to be running the whole church. He also goes to say that that they need to go back to where they were, the way they were, which was mysterious and inaccessible to the public. So that also breeds another chance that something else will happen very, very soon. So if you already have not checked out The Young Pope, I really suggest that you definitely go ahead and take a look. It's a limited series, but they've actually went ahead and extended it for next year. So that will be coming next year. Also, if you have not already heard, everybody else is starting to do reviews and different things of that nature. And I think that's good. I was at the time that I uploaded this, I thought I was the only person that was going to be covering the Pope, but it's not. I guess it's not my time yet, right? But ultimately, hey, in this case, the show is definitely something I would recommend to watch. Jude Law definitely does his thing. He's magnificent on the screen. He's very handsome, and then he also knows how to act, so that makes it even more easier to watch. His friend actually will be joining him very soon. You'll see her. And he's been his friend since he's a kid. He also goes into the confessional and says a lot of crazy stuff to the guy that's doing the confessional, which his name is Tomaso. Really feel bad for him. But the interesting thing about watching this show is that it shows us that people are a little bit more gentle when it comes to treatment of others. Even though they're really sneaky, they do a lot of stuff behind each other's backs. They still work together. First episode, the Pope actually said he doesn't like friendly relationships. And the reason he doesn't like them is because people get friendly and forget business is involved, and he doesn't want that type of relationship. So he's letting sister know that's been feeding the popes for like the last 20, 30 years of her life. She cries and leaves. So he has no love for nobody. And it's the opposite of what a pope should do. I've actually will be talking a little bit about AMC's Preacher coming up very, very shortly. As this concludes, I will be talking about Preacher and my views on the show. It's very interesting as well. But there's a lot of different videos and movies and things that are being created that are not geared towards the typical understanding of what we think a prophet is or someone that's sent by God. So I feel like it's very interesting as well. So if you already have not liked, subscribed, please go ahead and do so at this time. We will be coming up next some more updates on what's going on with the Game of Thrones, as well as Medici 2 will be coming out this week as well, so you might want to go ahead and tune into that. And if you're not a subscriber on my YouTube channel, you can't win. So we are actually doing a $20 gift card giveaway this month, so you might want to watch the Throne Room. Go ahead and bend the knee and subscribe. And coming up next, I'll be talking a little bit about the Medici and what happened next. So we'll be right back in a few moments. Otherwise, thank you for tuning into Throne Room. Go ahead and bend the knee and subscribe at this time to stay updated with contest updates. Don't forget to check out channelclip.net. That's actually a new video site that you can actually share your videos on, engage, chat, do whatever you want, create a forum. It's a really cool site. So go ahead and check that out. We'll be right back in a few moments. And thank you for tuning in to the Throne Room.